Johnny Blues Blues.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Vinyl Treasures. I'm your host, Johnny G. John Galindo, coming to you live each and every Wednesday, only here on Oldies and More Radio, also live on the YouTube stream. I want to welcome you to the August 30th, 2023 All 60s Vinyl Treasure Show. We're here from 9 p.m. till midnight. Usually do about a half-hour overtime here, but welcome to the program on this kind of muggy day today. Back to the summer grind here. I am done with summer. I want the fall so I could watch my Cincinnati Bengals in the see how they do in the play. Not even. Let's see how they play first. But I'm ready for fall. Yes, I am. So welcome to the Vinyl Treasure Show, and we just opened up tonight's show with this. Actually, it's the instrumental band of this singer. I played him not too long ago. Excuse me, another record by him. He was born in Bessemer, Alabama. He moved to Detroit in 1955. He recorded with a vocal group on the Fortune record label, the $5. Eventually, he would get top billing and be one of the top artists besides the Diablos on the Fortune record label. Also was backed up by the Don Juans on some 45s. His name was Andre Williams. He also had his own orchestra, as an example right there, recording for the Alvin label. He did two, though, on Ed Wingate's Wingate record label out of Detroit. This, you just heard the first of two, a song he wrote and produced. This charted number 15 on WJMO in Cleveland, Ohio, from February 66. My 6 is an 8. I got to get my eyes checked. February 66. Andre Williams and his orchestra on Wingate Records. It's called Loose Juice. And Johnny G is losing his mind today, but we started off here with the vocal portion. And I'm sure many of you know this next singer out of Passaic, New Jersey. He was born Joseph D. Nicola. Joseph D. Nicola, first recorded back in 1958 for the Little label. Very rare record on the Little label. I have featured it on my Saturday night show. But in 1960, he signed with Florence Greenberg's Scepter label, and he, along with his group, would become the house band at the Peppermint Lounge in New York City, and they performed a song there at that club and they recorded it live. The song was called The Peppermint Twist, and it came out on Morris Levy's Roulette record label in the fall of 1961, and it would become his biggest hits. But after 12 releases on the Roulette label through 1965, he signed with Jubilee Records for 4 releases. This was his 4th release, a tune written by Trade Martin and Ed Miller. Our vocal opener from March 67, Joey D and the Starlighters on Jubilee Records. It's called Put Your Heart in It.
Every time you take my hand, put your heart in it. Put your heart in it. When you tell me that I'm your man, put your heart in it. Put your heart in it. It ain't what you do, but the way that you do it. Like a kiss without love, there ain't nothing to it. Baby, won't you give me all of your love? In every kiss, in every hug, put your heart in it. Put your heart in it. Put your heart in it. Every time you smile for me, put your heart in it. Put your heart in it. You give the look that I wanna see. Put your heart in it. Put your heart in it. It ain't what you do, but the way that you do it. Like looks without love, there ain't nothing to it. So when you're talking with your eyes, flying to paradise, put your heart in it. 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 At first I was taking you out for fun, and I'd kiss you or anyone. Then after a while I was feeling strange. Something inside of me started to change, and now I know my heart belongs to you. In a one-sided love, just ain't gonna do now. Put your heart in it. Put your heart in it. It ain't what you do, but the way that you do it. Like a kiss without love, there ain't nothing to it. So when we cuddle and you give me a hug, better make sure that it's filled with love. Put your heart in it. Put your heart in it. Put your heart in it. Put your heart. Baby, put some feeling in it. Put your heart. I know when you kiss me, you got to put your soul in it. Put your heart. Baby, 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 baby.
That's our vocal opener there, Joey D and the Starlighters. March 1967, that's on the Jubilee record label. That's his 4th release on Jubilee Records. Put Your Heart in It. You know Johnny G and Charlene. We are always putting our heart in it to prepare the show, and hopefully it shows. Yes, it does as we continue here on the All 60s edition. Got the sound of Motown up next on the Vinyltreasure show, as I have a few hits tonight. Sometimes it's nice to fit a couple hits, especially when you really, really like them, and I like this next record here. A big star of Motown was Marvin Gaye, and he had some notable duets with other ladies of Motown. There was even a CD that came out called Marvin Gaye and His Women. That sounds kind of interesting, doesn't it? But it includes, I think, 21 classic songs with fellow female Motown gals like Mary Wells, Diana Ross, Kim Weston, and Tammy Terrell. Now, Kim Weston, she signed with Tamla Records in 1963. She had 7 releases on the Tamla label. I featured one last week on Gordy Records, A Thrill a Moment, which is a great one that she does on Gordy. I think she had 3 on Gordy, but she had 7. This is her 7th release with this duet with Marvin Gaye, and it became, I guess we can call it, her biggest hit. It was taken from the Tamla LP called Takes Two, written by William Stevenson and Sylvia Rose Moy. This charted number 43 on Cashbox 14 on Billboard, number 4 on the Billboard R&B chart, a big number 1 record on WHAT in Philadelphia, PA. Hits here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. We go to December 1966. Marvin Gaye and Kim Weston on the Tamla label. I'm featuring it on a same song on both sides promo. It's called It Takes Two.
Come true, yeah. One can stand alone in the dark. Two can make a light shine through. It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Me and you. Just take two. It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. To make a dream come true. Just take two. One can have a broken heart, living in misery. Two can really ease the pain like the perfect remedy. One can be alone in the crowd like an island he's all alone. Two can make it just for any place, seem just like a being home. It takes two.
Hits here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's Marvin Gaye and Kim Weston, December 1966 on the Tamla record label. It Takes Two is the name of the tune. I always liked that record. I did, and also you can check it out on YouTube. I think one of the 1967 dance contest was to that record. Pretty cool to see the couples dancing to that 45 on that kind of 1960-ish Lindy dance there. Pretty interesting. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening. Let's continue here. Now, I played the flip side of this 45 sometime in July, I think. This group from Newark, New Jersey, they were called the Ambers. First recording for the Greasy label back in 1965. Their next two singles were in 1966, one on New Art, another one on the Verve label. This was their very next release that came out on the Smash label. Now, I featured the side called Potion of Love, but one of the UK listeners, Mr. David Greet asked if I could flip it over for him. It's a big, David, a big supporter of the Vinyl Treasure show, so we will gladly do that for Mr. Greet. This tune co-written by the lead singer. His name is Billy Chin. Let's go to August of 1967. These are the Ambers. The Ambers on the Smash label. This is for listener David Greet in the UK. It's called Another Love.
particular kind of guy. That's alright. One day I'm gonna make this girl realize. That's alright. Still I've got to find me another lover, someone who treat me just the way that I treated her. That's alright. I know there's gonna come a day in my life when I'm gonna realize. But every time I look into her eyes, I just can't understand why. But I've got something's gonna keep her on my mind. That's alright. One day I'm gonna make this girl realize. That's alright. So I've got to find me another lover, someone who treats Billy just the way that he treated her. That's alright. Girl, that's alright. It's alright. Girl, that's alright. It's alright. She's got to be an angel. It's alright. I'll be in danger. It's alright. Danger, danger. It's alright. Danger,
As scratches and all there. What do you want? You find that in the wild there for 10 cents. That's going out to UK listener David Greet, The Sound of the Ambers there, August 1967. A great two-sided 45. That side called Another Love on the Smash record label. Let's continue here on the All 60s edition for this next group, best known for their 1962 single on the Exodus. Or some of you may own it on the Reprise label. It's called She Told Me Lies, which is a really cool doo-wop sound, but this group out of Los Angeles, California. This is the B-side. Is it the B-side? Yes. It's the promotional copy, though. This is the B-side to a release they had on the Modern label, a tune written by Van McCoy. Tony Crosby likes the sounds of Van McCoy. This features Milton Hayes on lead. Let's go to February 1968 for the sound of the Marvelos. These Marvelos, they're out of Los Angeles. It's on the Modern record label. It's called In the Sunshine.
Side to romance, and the heartaches
February 1968 release there for the Marvelos. Marvelos out of Los Angeles, California on the Modern record label. In the Sunshine is the name of the tune. That is really the intended B-side of the 45. And we aim to please here on the Vinyltreasure show. We can do instant requests here. And we're going to do one right now from Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. Mark, I got to tell you, the UK crowd, they are watching you they are watching you and what you type in the chat room and what records you select in case I miss one that needs to get played, because on a couple of the ones that I've had requests from the UK, they were surprised possibly you didn't mention. Now that's possible that you weren't there on the show, so that is probably the reason why, because you always do request flip sides that are big northern 45. So let's flip this 45 over. An instant request for listener Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. February 68, the Marvelos. This is the intended A-side on the Modern label. It's called Down in the City for Mark.
Gonna spend my life searching for a wife, a girl who wants to share with me, love and devotion, oh yeah, a lot of emotion, a girl who knows the way it's got to be, oh baby, down in the city, come on baby, the girl is so pretty, oh yeah, I can't decide which way to turn, oh yeah, down in the city, come on now, the girl is so pretty, I live in love but I don't learn, but I can't find, no I can't find a girl to please my finger Listen, I'm gonna take some time and let it all unwind, 'cause no one knows what's on the way. Everyone worries, oh yeah, they're all in a hurry, to find some time so they can play. Down in the city, come on baby, the girl is so pretty, oh yeah, I can't decide which way to turn, oh baby, down in the city, oh yeah, the girl is so pretty, I live in love but I don't learn, and I can't find, no I can't find a girl to be my finger Lisa was all a man could dream. Joe was a very sweet machine. Ruby and Sally I met back in the alley. Donnie and Will were very good friends. Oh baby, down in the city, come on baby, the girl is so pretty, oh yeah, give me
Instant requests here on the Vinyltreasure show. That one there from Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. Those are the Marvelos out of Los Angeles, California, with their tune called Down in the City. That is the intended A-side. Featured prior to that, the B-side, In the Sunshine. That one there on the Modern record label. We continue here. Now, on last week's show, I featured a group from Detroit called The Adorables, a group comprised of Pat and Diane Lewis and Jackie and Betty Winston, two sets of sisters Checkers were members of that group. Now, I featured their first of three from January 64 called Deep Freeze. This is their follow-up, which came out in May of 1964. We go to Ed Wingate's Golden World record label. This charted number 15 on WJIM in Lansing, Michigan. May 64, The Adorables on Golden World. The song is called Two Letters, One Word. It's called B. B-E. B. They're out of Detroit. They're called the Adorables. That's their second of three on Golden World Records, song entitled B from May 1964. Johnny G B here on a Wednesday evening. Hope you're digging on the tunes. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This show is exploding with subscribers as we continue here. I have the Iceman up next as he began singing as the lead singer of the Impressions back in 1958. He went solo in 1959 on the VJ subsidiary Abner label. He would move over to the parent label VJ Records in August of 1960. I'm sure you know his first release on the VJ label. It's called He Will Break Your Heart. But he would have 27 releases on VJ Records through the year 1966. Let's give a listen to his 18th, a tune written by Randy Newman. You know, Randy Newman had a hit in the 70s about short people, if there's anybody that relates to that tune. But this was his this song was a number 7 on WSID in Baltimore, Maryland, and this is the original version of the tune because Dusty Springfield, she would cover this in 1969 for the Atlantic folks, but this is the original from May 64, Jerry Butler on VJ Records. It's called I Don't Want to Hear It Anymore, Jerry Butler.
In my neighborhood, well, folks don't live so good now. The rooms are small, most of the buildings made of wood. I hear the neighbors talking about you and me. Guess I've heard most every word, 'cause the talking's loud and the walls are much too thin. she sure wasn't thinking of him. Oh, today, oh Lord, I saw her in the front yard now. Said that girl in room 149 talking to a boy. Well, I never seen him before. And standing there together, don't you know they look so fine? Well, I don't wanna hear it anymore. I don't wanna hear them anymore. But the talk just never ends. The heartache soon begins. The talk is so loud and the walls are much too thin. Lord, ain't it sad, said the woman across the hall, that when a nice boy falls in love, hey, it's just too bad that he had to fall for a girl who doesn't care for him at all. Well, I don't wanna hear them anymore. I can't stand to hear anymore. But the talk just never ends, and the heartache soon begins. Oh, they talk so loud, and the walls are much too thin. Oh, I wish they wouldn't talk so loud and expose my heartache to all of the crowd.
That's the Iceman, Jerry Butler. Jerry Butler there from May 1964. Vivian Carter's VJ record label. What did I say that was? His 18th release there? 18th of 27 releases on the VJ label. I Don't Want to Hear It Anymore. Great tune there, written by Randy Newman. Johnny G here, spinning 45s. We continue. I've been featuring this gal from Detroit a lot here on the 1960s show. She would have a string of hit singles for the Motown record label beginning in 1960. Most of them composed by Smokey Robinson, but she would leave Motown to sign with 20th Century Fox Records. She had 6 releases on that label, but nowhere near as successful as her releases for Motown Records. And she tried her luck with Atco Records, where she had another 4 releases. Let's give a listen to her first, and probably her most successful single on the Atco label. This tune written by Carl Davis and Gerald Sims, number 51 on Billboard, 45 on Cashbox, number 6 on the Billboard R&B chart, and a number 1 record on WJLB in Detroit, Michigan. Let's go to December of 1965 for Miss Mary Wells. Mary Wells on the Atco label. Her tune is called Dear Lover.
You're still mine. Oh, I miss you so much, and I wish I could just see you somehow. Let no other steal your heart while you're apart from me. Please be faithful, please be true. I'll never stop loving you, dear lover. I wonder, do you feel the same way too? Is this feeling in your heart as strong as the love that I
That's the sound of Mary Wells here on the 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. December 65, Dear Lover. That's her first release on the Atco record label. But also the flip side of this, I think this was the intended B-side. Mark Speck mentioned if I could flip over the 45, because the other side is also good, and it did receive airplay regionally. So let's do that. Let's hope that the copyright police don't come after me, because I had another record coming up by Mary Wells. But let's do this. There you go. We set it up here. This was the first release on the Atco label from Mary Wells from December 65, released then. And we just heard Dear Lover. This is the flip side. It's called Can't You See, parentheses, You're Losing Me, by request, instant request, from Mark Speck. As Johnny G gets caught here, I just saw something on this label here I'm going to talk to you about. Someone's going to have to help me out here. But anyway, there you go. That is an instant request for listener Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. That's Mary Wells. That is her first release on the Atco record label, a song entitled Can't You See, parentheses, You're Losing Me, as a flip side to Dear Lover, her first release on the Atco record label. See, I had a twin spin for her too. After Atco Records, she would sign with Jubilee Records to have 7 more releases. This was her 6th. A tune written and produced by Cecil and Mary Womack. This one arranged by Horace Ott. This one, Touch of the 70s, this one came out in May of 1970. But the interesting thing I just noticed on here, so Daryl, you or someone can check it out, that it says Steve, it's got a stamper, Steve Carradine, Channel 13, it says Trivia Show, Fridays at 6:30, but the flip side says Sounds of the 60s. It's on WOR. I don't know if it's D or O. I can't make it out. But was there disc jockey Steve Carradine, if anybody knows? Maybe if nobody knows, then it's a moot point. But let's give a listen to this song from May of 1970, Mary Wells. I guess we'll call it a triple spin. This is her sixth of seven on the Jubilee record label. It's called Sweet Love, Mary Wells.
Dreaming girl, I need sweet love to change my world. Sweet love, great God, I need your love. God above, could there be hope for me? Sometimes I sit alone in my lonely bed, it makes me cry. Life's a drag. If you would only just let me in, stop this drag. I could live again. Great God, I need your love. You know I need your love. Sweet love. Great God, I need your love. I dream pretty dreams, but I need the real thing. Then I can wake up, won't have to lock myself inside, too hurt to face the world. That's what pretty dreams can do. A girl daydreamer, that's one thing, I'm a real daydreamer. Got my rope out swinging, I got to hook me a real hunger. Sometimes I sit alone in my lonely bed, it makes me cry. Life's a drag. If you would only just let me in, stop this drag. I could live again. Great God, I need your love. You know I need your love. Daydreamer, that's the thing. I'm a real daydreamer. I got my rope out swinging, I got to hook me a real hunger. Then I can wake up, won't have to lock myself inside, see sweet love shining all around me. No more daydreaming girl, oh no. Great God, I need your love. I'm just a daydreamer, looking for somebody to love. Help me now, yeah. Great God, I need your love.
That is a triple play for Mary Wells. Touch of the 70s here on the All 60s edition, May 1970 release. It's on the Jubilee record label. Sweet Love is the name of that tune. Let's continue here. Let's go back to Detroit. Well, actually, she's from Detroit, so let's stay in Detroit for this next group. First recording for the Chex label back in 1962. They had a hit called I Love You. Then releases followed on Jubilee and Old Town. Now, a few weeks ago, I featured their first release for American Arts. It was called Gotta Give Her Love. This is the follow-up, the second release on American Arts, and the harder of the two to find. It features Eddie Union on lead. This charted number 27 on WAME in Miami, Florida. Let's go to February 1965 for the volumes. The volumes on American Arts. It's called I Just Can't Help Myself. The volumes.
Oh, what a style. Oh, what a style. Oh, what a
They're out of Detroit, Michigan there, the Sound of the Volumes. I even featured them last week. By the way, we're going to flip over that, if I get to it, that 45 I played last week on the Impact label. But those are the Volumes, their second release on American Artists from February 65. I Just Can't Help Myself is the name of the tune. Now, I knew, even before that Mark Speck was going to ask Johnny G to flip it over, I am a mind reader. I knew he wanted, and I wanted to play it. I had this scheduled to play the flip side for this 45 because this side is good too. As I will flip it over here. It's not on my favorite vinyl. It is on styrene. You know Johnny G's feelings towards styrene vinyl. So let's flip over the Volumes. I Just Can't Help Myself with Eddie Union on lead. And this is the flip side. It's called One Way Lover, the Volumes on American Arts. There you go. But, well, we'll even say for Mark Speck there, but that's also for Johnny G, because I'm a one-way lover. Yes, February 65, the Volumes. That's the flip side to I Just Can't Help Myself on American Arts. That's their second release on American Arts. One-Way Lover is the name of the tune. Hope you're digging on the tunes here. If you do like what you hear, please give me a thumbs up. I will definitely appreciate that if you do that. Thank you all for tuning in tonight here. Up next, two unrelated women that recorded as the Soul Sisters. But prior to being the Soul Sisters, they were a member of a trio called the Canjos. The Canjos, they recorded for the DAP label back in 1962, kind of a doo-wop sound for that release. But they are Teresa Cleveland and Ann Gissendander, and in late 1963 they signed with Juggy Murray's Sue record label. They had 7 releases on the Sue label. Let's give a listen to their fourth, a tune written by Delmer Donnell. This is from August 1954. They are called the Soul Sisters. The Soul Sisters on Sue Records. It's called I Won't Be Your Fool Anymore.
Start.
sort of Ike and Tina Turner-ish, I would say. There you go. Sound of the Soul Sisters there, August 1964 on the Sue record label. I Won't Be Your Fool Anymore. That's their fourth release on the Sue record label. Now, you all know this next singer from Philadelphia. He's originally, though, from Spring Gully, South Carolina. His real name is Ernest Evans, and he created a dance sensation. I guess it really took over the world. And I don't know, Lenny has never only mentioned strolls and cha-chas. What about the twist, Lenny? Plus, so that's what this artist did. He really made the twist a dance sensation, even though Hank Ballard recorded that song first. But he had other dance themes also, but like this one here. But his first release came out in May of 1959 on the Parkway label, a song called The Class. He would have 26 releases on Parkway Records through the year 1966. Let's give a listen to his 19th. And in 1964, there was kind of like a new dance craze that was out. And it was called The Swim, and I think it was Bobby Freeman. He had a big hit with Come On and Swim on the Autumn label. And here is Chubby Checker's contribution to The Swim. This song made it up to number 52 on Cashbox, was number 50 on both the Billboard and the R&B chart, number 14 on WRAW in Reading, Pennsylvania. Let's go to August of 1964 for Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker on the Parkway label, and his contribution to The Swim. It's called She Wants to Swim. August 1964 release there for Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker on the Parkway record label. She Wants to Swim is the name of the tune. He had other ones like Karate Boogaloo. What else did he do? Limbo Rock, La Paloma Twist. I was thinking of the other dances here. Did he do other dances here? I should have checked it out before I opened my mouth. Anyway, let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. This girl group from Jamaica, New York had a big hit with their debut single on the Dynavoice record label. It was called A Lover's Concerto. The group included Barbara Parrott, June Monteiro, and lead singer Barbara Harris. They would have 5 releases on the Dynavoice record label, but let's give a spin to the B-side to their big #1 hit, national hit, A Lover's Concerto. Both sides of this 45 written by Denny Randell and Sandy Linzer, and also arranged by Charlie Colello. We go to August of 1965 for The Sound of the Toys. The Toys on Dynavoice Records. It's called This Night, a B-side. B-sides here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. There you go, the Toys. Toys from August 1965. That's on Dynavoice Records. That's the flip side of A Lover's Concerto, song called This Night. As we continue this night, this Wednesday, last Wednesday show of August. I can't believe we're getting into September. Johnny G I will be turning 65, and I will be part of the Medicare group beginning September 1st. I can't believe that. Barbara's taking me out to lunch on I can't do it Sunday. I'm too busy, crazy busy on Sunday. That is my true birthday. But I said we're going to go out to lunch on Friday. Then I got to go do shopping for the parents. But it'll be nice. I haven't really. Well, we did go out a couple times for lunchtime. Not dinner time though. But anyway, that's the way it's going to happen here. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures and. I lost my place. Here we go. On last week's Vinyl Treasure Show, I featured this group from Philadelphia with their third release on the Arctic label. It was called Help Wanted, but here is their second release on the Arctic label and the group's biggest hit. This made it up to number 33 on the Billboard R&B chart, a big number 9 on WIBG in Philadelphia. It features Gene Jones on lead. Let's go to May of 1965 for the Volcanoes. The Volcanoes on Arctic Records. The song is called Storm Warning. The Volcanoes.
Causing me pain.
May 1965 there for the Volcanoes as Gene Jones on lead. The Volcanoes on the Arctic label, Storm Warning. I didn't play it because of that horrible hurricane that is affecting down in, the folks down in Florida. We hope everybody is safe there. But I guess, really maybe the storm warning there, they did get their warnings down there in Florida. I think northern Florida more than southern Florida there, that it is hitting there. So we hope those people are safe and that there was not too much damage. That is for sure. As we continue here on Vinyl Treasures, can't tell you much about this next 45, but the problem is when I purchased this record for 10 cents, I made a mistake. There were 15 copies of this record, all Stone Mint, and plus others. I went to, it must have been, I think it was up in Stormville, New York. They used to have a gigantic flea market at the Stormville airport, and they held it every 3-day weekend. And it was that Sunday, but I would go up Saturday. I would go up a day ahead of time when the people were setting up, and I would walk around. I'd stay there late. Do you have records? Do you have records? So this guy pulls out the entire, I guess, display of 4 for $1 from Woolworths. Like Woolworths used to sell those BB hole records, those returns, no return, whatever. So, but this one didn't have a BB hole in it. None of them did, but there were like 15 copies, 7 or 15 copies, I forget. But I only took one. Of course, you learn from your mistakes. Had a lot of good records, too, on that trip. It was a long, long time ago, sometime in the mid-1980s. But used to have fun looking for 45s. That was a fun part of record collecting. It's not fun when you dish out $3,000 for a 45 of your hard-earned money. But again, it's all relative to your work and how much disposable income you have. But like I said, I should have bought all the copies, but let's give this one a spin here. This is from April 65. They're called The Soul 4. The Soul 4 on the Ringo label, produced by Gary Chester and Hal Abramson. And the song is called Misery.
Did she not love me? Or was it all in fun? Yeah, now she's gone and left me alone. No one can help me, oh no. Misery, hey! Ow! My baby when he said, she said goodbye.
Oh, Mark just made me depressed. I tell you, I left. It was somewhere between 7 and 15 copies of and with the company sleeve. A cool rainbow color company sleeve, like those. I don't know what Ringo means, but anyway, it's on the Ringo label. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's from April '65, the Soul 4 on the Ringo label, Misery. Johnny G made some mistakes during his collecting career. I made some good moves too, but you know, you don't remember the good things. You always remember the bad things. That's in anything you do, even in your workplace. I used to tell that to the young kids I used to teach accounting to when I became a consultant. But anyway, we digress. Let's continue here. This is another record I found out in the wild. Now, the only thing wrong with this has a little bit of a slight warp, but it plays okay. This gal, born in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, but she moved to New York City when she was 19 years old. Her real name is Sharon Seeger, but she recorded under that name in 1962 on the Keystone International label. Then with her very next release, which came out on the Wild Deuce label, she recorded as Sharon Soul. And this is a song that she co-wrote. And this is the intended A-side of the 45. I'm going to flip this over too, by the way. It's a great two-sided 45. I haven't played it in a long, long time. This was number 30 on WWIN in Baltimore, Maryland. Let's go to January 1965. For Sharon Soul. Sharon Soul on the Wild Deuce label. It's called How Can I Get to You? Sharon Soul.
You got to me, oh, what can I do to get to you? You're looking good in your continental suit of blue. You got a look in your eyes that's tearing me up inside. You got to me now, what can I do to get to you? I'm telling you, I'm gonna lay it on the line. You, baby, is so doggone fine. I gotta have you all to myself. Ain't gonna share you with anybody else. You got to me now, what can I do to get to you? Now, baby, listen to what I got to say. Now, baby, things just can't go on this way. I've been pacing the floor day and night, and if I have to, baby, the whole world outside. You got to be, oh, what can I do to get to you? You're looking good in your continental suit of blue.
I hope I didn't say Sharon Stone. I mean Sharon Soul. That was her alias, though. Her real name was Sharon Seeger. But there you go. That is Sharon Soul, January 1965. That's on the Wild Deuce record label. How Can I Get to You is the name of the tune. Let's flip the 45 over. This was a scheduled flip side for Johnny G. And let's put it on here. Okay, there we go. As again, I found this one out in the wild, and so did Mark Speck. That's great. I tell you, it's a lot of fun to find records out in the wild, especially if they're nice and clean and they're cheap. That is the best way to do it. So let's flip over the Sharon Stone 40. Sharon Stone. I see what you got me doing there, Darren. Darren, Sharon Soul. Sharon Stone. He's got me thinking of that movie, is what you got me thinking of. This is from January 65 on the Wild Deuce label. This is the B-side of How Can I Get to You, Sharon Soul, and Don't Say Goodbye Love. This is the B-side.
After you've looked through your little black book, go back and take another look. Don't pass my number by. Oh, won't you give it one more try before you say goodbye? One more try before you say goodbye. Goodbye. If you don't soon have a reconciliation, I know I'm gonna need some rehabilitation. Oh, don't pass my number by. Oh, won't you give it one more try before you say goodbye, love? Goodbye, love. Oh, don't pass my number by. Oh, won't you give it one more try before you say goodbye, love? Goodbye, love. Goodbye,
January 65 release there for Sharon Soul. My mind is wandering, folks. Sharon Soul on Wild Deuce Records. Don't Say Goodbye Love is the name of the tune. Johnny G not saying goodbye, not yet, as we continue here. As this next singer was born in Forest City, Arkansas, but relocated to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Now in high school, he formed a group called the Soulmates, and two of the members of the group, Palmer James and Curtis Rogers, formed their own record label. They called it Hotline Music Journal Records. Wow, that's a pretty long name, it is. And they wrote a tune called Backup Train in 1967, which became the label's first release, featuring a young Al Green. Yes, Al Green of I'm So Tired of Being Alone fame and all those great hits he had on the High label in the 1970s. But they would enter into a contract with Amy Malabelle to distribute their singles. Now, this is, which one is this? This, wait a minute. This is this, what's the flip side of this? As I'm losing my mind here, Charlene. But let's give it a spin here. I found this in the wild too, folks, by the way. October 1967. I just don't know where this falls into the records by Al Green, if I mentioned his first. So is this either his second or what on Hotline? October 67, Al Green and the Soulmates on Hotline Music Journal Records. It's called Don't Leave Me. Okay, now it makes sense there, because this is the B-side to Al Green's first release, Al Green and the Soulmates there. So that's what that's supposed to mean. October 1967 on the Hotline Music Journal label. Don't Leave Me is the name of the tune. Of course, the A-side was called Backup Train. Now, Mark was correct saying that this is the Amy Malabelle distributed 45. I think it's a different numbering. It's a three number on the true first press of this, which are vinyl, I think, and the styrenes are the Amy Malabelle distributed 45. There you go. That is the way it goes. Johnny G here on a Wednesday. Hope you're digging on the tunes here. Let's go back to Philadelphia now for this next group. I forget which one. Adrian Viterbo in Mexico asked me for I forget which one it was, their fourth or their fifth release on the Top and Bottom label, but this group signed with Gilda Wood's Dion label in late 1966 to have 8 releases. Their debut single was their biggest hit, a song called Dry Your Eyes, but they did 6 on Gilda Wood's Top and Bottom label. This tune, written by Joe Cobb and Van McCoy, was also arranged by Van McCoy, and it features Brenda Payton on lead. She is the lead singer. This group is called Brenda and the Tabulations. This is the sound of the 70s, Santi. We're going actually into January 71. I remember hearing this on the radio, and Record Hound, a.k.a. Darren, is our Canadian expert as far as it goes with record labels and other things Canadian. But I will tell you, Darren, of any record that I can tell, I mean, I know the Motowns were on that Tamla Motown label, that white and black with multicolor letters up at the top. But I know this record came out on the Columbia label in Canada, And correct me if I am wrong, but anyway, this is from January 71. This charted number 23 on Billboard, 10 on the R&B chart, a big number 2 record on WWIN in Baltimore, Maryland. Brenda and the Tabulations on the top and bottom label. It's called Right on the Tip of My Tongue. Brenda and the Tabulations. Touch of the 70s here on the All 60s edition of the Vinyl Treasure Show. That's Brenda and the Tabulations. Brenda and the Tabulations from January 1971. Brenda Payton on lead. Right on the Tip of My Tongue is the name of the tune. That's on Top and Bottom Records. Oh, I remember hearing that on the radio back in the early 1970s. Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening. Let's continue here for this next group. Actually, it was interesting when I first found this record, and it wasn't expensive at all. It was like 50 cents or whatever, but I saw it on Specialty Records, and I collect Art Roop's Specialty label. Of course, lots of 50s groups and R&B on this label. But the label went into the 1970s. And of course, Specialty, notorious for re-releasing a lot of their 50s material. Sometimes they make it so difficult to tell the second presses apart from the first presses. They were still using original stampers. But This one is from 1970. This actually first came out on the Raza label, a tune written by Rully Garcia, who had some solo releases in the 1970s on Dore and Billionaire Records. But this is actually a pretty cool up-tempo tune. It's by it's the Brown Brothers of Soul from 1970 on the Specialty label, and it's called Poquito Soul. The Brown Brothers of Soul. So Mark Speck wants Johnny G to do an all Latin soul show. That could be interesting. Might do that one on maybe on a 1 o'clock in the afternoon specialty show. But it is a possibility I could do that. I do think I have enough Latin 45s in my collection. But there you go, the Brown Brothers of Soul, 1970, on the specialty label. Poquito Soul is the name of the tune. Those of you that know the Spanish language there. Johnny G here on a Wednesday. We continue here. Let's go to Brooklyn, New York for this next singer. Actually, she relocated out to San Francisco, California. She was born in Brooklyn, but relocated out to San Francisco. And I played 2 of her records last week, but she was discovered by Johnny Otis back in 1955. She was 18 years old, has some pretty cool records recording for the Federal record label. She also has solo releases in the 1950s in demand that I do have. I think one on Jody, maybe some on Rhythm Records out in California as Pelea Ballatin. But she became Sugar Pie DeSanto with recordings on Music City and Veltone Records. She signed with Leonard Chess's Checker label in 1961. This is her second release on the Checker label, and it's not that easy to find. Not many people. It's a lot of people looking for this 45 by her. A tune written by Brenda and Tony Bruno. It's with Joe Hudson's band that was backing her up at the time. This one, December 62. Sugar Pie DeSanto on the Checker label. It's called Ask Me. Sugar Pie DeSanto.
Lovers may come, lovers may go, steal your heart and hurt you so. I find gray. When I see the tears roll down my face, what if there's a tear in my eye? What if you should hear me cry? Would you feel the same? Would it cause you pain? Would you hurt inside? Would it build your pride if you say, if you ask me to be your girl? Come on, come on, ask me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, ask me. What if there's a tear in my eye? What if you should hear me cry? Would you feel the same? Would it cause you pain? Would you hurt inside? Would it build your pride if you say, if you ask me to be your girl? Come on, come on, ask me. Come on, come on, come on, come on, ask me.
That's Sugar Pie DeSanto there. Sugar Pie DeSanto on the Checker label from December of 1962. Ask Me. That's her second of 9 on the Checker label. And Mark mentioned it was also done by Maxine Brown. Yes, she did record that, issued it on the Juan label in March of 1963. Also a great rendition by Maxine Brown. Johnny G here on a Wednesday as we continue here. How about another cover song here up next? This song originally recorded by the Temptations on the Miracle label, I think in 1961 possibly, but this is by a cover by this artist born July 6th of 1937 in Chicago, Illinois. He was a member of the vocal group the Gays. His real name Eugene Dixon, but you know him as Gene Chandler, and has so many great releases during his career. This side bubbled under on the Billboard charts at number 119, but it was a number 12 record on KATZ in St. Louis, Missouri. Let's go to April of 1963 for Mr. Gene Chandler. Gene Chandler on VJ Records, a cover of the Temptations tune. The song is called Check Yourself.
By and by, you knew that you'd make me
By
cry.
and by, you knew that you'd make me cry.
My love for you will never
My
die.
love for you will never, never die.
'Cause I had to find out on my own.
Check yourself, check yourself.
That's what they told me.
Check yourself,
You didn't know mine.
check yourself, check yourself.
Kept on breaking
Check
hearts
yourself, check yourself.
all down the
Check yourself, check
line.
yourself.
Sometimes you just got to lose. That's when you paying your dues. I guess I was a fool. I guess I was a fool. I think that you could stay so true. I really played the
Check
game.
yourself, check
I
yourself.
had
Check
always
yourself, check
now the
yourself.
tables
Check
turn,
yourself,
and I'm on
check yourself.
losing
Check
it.
yourself.
Oh, don't feel sorry. I had it coming, it's true. 'Cause I'm a losing. Yes, I'm a losing. I'm a losing you. Before I go, I'd like for you to know you I've lost your love. I'll take it like a man, but I'll be thinking of the good time, the bad time, but good or bad, happy or sad, those memories, sweet, sweet, sweet memories, oh, memories, all I have. What they told me, what they, oh, what they told me, that's what they,
April 1963 release there for Gene Chandler. Gene Chandler doing the Temptations tune, Check Yourself. That one there on Vivian Carter's VJ record label. I like that record, I really do. As we continue here on the All 60s edition, now on last week's 60s show, I played the Volumes. Actually, I played two songs by them earlier, their second release on American Arts Records, but I featured their single on Impact Records, played the A-side called The Trouble I've Seen, and the B-side is also good. And I whittled the guy down on the price on this record. It was Spence, and he sold me some really nice northern records on the cheap, because he wanted originally $400 for this record, but I negotiated it down and he sold it to me for I don't know what this record sells for, but I paid $225 for this 45. So I got to tell you, I don't get everything out in the wild for 10 and 25 cents. I had to pay for this 45, and Eddie Union was not on lead with this. The lead singer on this was Gerald Mathis. He's the lead singer. This one produced by Duke Browner, who I think may have wrote their songs on American Arts. But this is from October 1966. Let's flip over The Trouble I've Seen by the Volumes on Impact. You get this tune. It's called That Same Old Feeling. The Volumes on Impact.
It's that same old feeling I get every time. That same old feeling, baby, that still makes me cry. What can I do? I break down and cry. I sit in the corner and tears fill my eyes. Baby, baby. Whoa. Same old feeling, baby. You're no longer
October 66 there for the Volumes. The Volumes on the Impact label, That Same Old Feeling, the name of the tune. Gerald Mathis, he's the lead singer. He previously recorded with the group. He was actually the lead singer of a group called the Magnetics that recorded for the All Right record label. I have 2 records by them on the All Right record label. Let's continue now. And this is a request for listener Adrian Viterbo, listening in Mexico. He's also in our YouTube chat room. I found 2 of your requests. I have the third. I will find it. You have to give me time. Ran out of time today. I had to prepare for the show. But this is a girl group from, is Hamtramck? Is it called Hamtramck or Hamtramck? Charlene, we got to phonetically spell it on here. And Hamtramck, Michigan. And this first came out on the Correct Tone label. I wish I had it on the Correct Tone label, but it was picked up by Brent Records out of New York City. And the lead singer on this, her name is Yvonne Vernay. I think it was Yvonne Vernay Allen. And she would later become the lead singer of the Elgins, who recorded for VIP, if you know the song Heaven Must Have Sent You and Darling Baby. She's the lead singer of that Elgins group. But this is from July 62 by request for Adrian. She was the lead singer of this group called the Donets. And this was a number 9 record on WICC in Bridgeport, Connecticut. The Donets on Brent. This is going out to Adrian. It's called Bad Boy.
Bad boy. Oh, bad boy. You could never be praised with your evil way. What am I to do? I'm so in love with you. Why don't you use your head? Our love is almost there. I've got to know, because I love you so. You cheated and you lied. You could have saved my pride. I've got to know, because I love you so. Bad boy. Oh, bad boy. Oh, yeah, bad boy. Ooh, with your evil ways. What am I to do? I'm so in love with you. Why don't you use your head? Our love is almost there. I've got to know, because I love you so. Bad boy. Oh, bad boy.
There you go. That's going out to Adrian Viterbo in our YouTube chat room, July 1962. The Donets there. The Donets with the Yvonne Vernay on lead on the Brent record label, Bad Boy. You know, the Beatles covered the flip side of this 45. The Beatles, they knew about this record. A song called Devil in His Heart. The Beatles covered that. I can't get away with playing the Beatles cut on the Vinyl Treasure Show, though. The copyright police will arrest me if I play that. But anyway, I have another one coming up for Adrian a little later in the program. Let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures. I think, Mark, you may have requested this record a while back. here on the Vinyl Treasure Show, if I'm not mistaken. As this artist, originally from Omaha, Nebraska, he was a regular on Dick Clark's Where the Action Is, has quite a few releases going, starting back in the 1950s, really. Even did some acting, and all his... he is probably best known, I guess his biggest hit would be the cover he did of the Arthur Alexander tune, Every Day I Have to Cry. And I'm talking about Steve Alaimo. He signed with ABC Paramount Records. Let's see, this is double. He signed with ABC Paramount Records, and this was his third release on the ABC Paramount record label. We'll send it out to Mark Speck because I think he requested this in the past. It's from August of 1964, and he could sing all styles. He could sing soul, he could sing pop, he could sing Frank Sinatra. I don't know about opera, but he really did all types of genres of music. I mean, well, you know, all types of different sounds. And this is a cool sound by him. Steve Alaimo, August 64 on ABC Paramount. We'll send it out to Mark Speck. The song is called I Don't Know.
I don't know why I love you so. I don't know why I need you so. I don't know, baby, why I love you so. I don't care what the folks may say. I'm gonna love you each and every day. I don't know, but I really love you so. I'm gonna write you a letter so that you can understand much better. Oh, it is a terrible feeling. Oh, you'll never know, 'cause you don't know how you make me feel. It's that feeling that is so, so real. I don't know, baby, why I love you so. Stop, 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 I'm gonna write you a letter so that you can understand much better. Oh, it is a terrible feeling. Oh, you'll never know, 'cause you don't know how you make me feel. It's that feeling that is so, so real. I don't know, baby, why I love you so. Baby, why I love you so. I don't know, I don't know, and I don't care what they wanna say. I'm gonna love you every day. Stop, 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 stand up, everybody. Sit down, everybody. Stand up, everybody. Sit down, everybody. Stand up, everybody. Sit down, everybody. Stop, 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 on the ball, on the ball.
As going out to Mark Speck in our YouTube chat from the sound of Steve Alaimo. Steve Alaimo, his third release on the ABC Paramount record label, I Don't Know, is the name of that tune from August of 1964. He does a cover of the Donnie Owens song, To Need You. It's like kind of like a doo-wop-y version of that. So really interesting sounds by Steve Alaimo. As we continue here in the All 60s edition, this next singer was a member of the 1950s group The Hearts. In 1957, she went solo. She was mentored by J&S label owner Zell Sanders. Now, she recorded on a number of different labels during her career besides J&S Neptune and ABC Paramount. Here's one on Juggy Murray's Sue record label. This is her 6th of 16 on the Sue label. It's arranged by Bert Keys. This charted number 18 on WWIN if you were tuned in Baltimore, Maryland. The interesting thing about this, because I had one filed already in my collection, but I'm looking at this title and I don't see the title on 45 Cat. I see Hey Lonely One. And so I'm looking at this one, I'm going, well, wait a minute, this is the same number and it just says Hey Lonely. So and I don't see any copies up there called Hey Lonely. So I don't know if there's any for sale on eBay or if they were sold on Grip Suite or whatever. But this says Hey Lonely instead of Hey Lonely One. But either way, I think it's a great tune. Let's go to September of 1963 for Miss Baby Washington on Sue Records. This is called Hey Lonely. Should be Hey Lonely One.
Took a look in the mirror, and what did I see? For once in my life, I gave a lecture to me. Hey, lonely, see what you've done. You thought you were smart, yeah. You thought it would be fun. Hey, lonely, I bet you're sorry now. Oh yeah. So here you are standing with tears in your eyes. Thought he'd never find out. You thought you were wise. You're sorry now. Oh yeah. Your friends all say you shouldn't care. Tell me, what do they know about your love affair? Now you did the hurting, oh yeah, and you played the game. I know you did the cheating. Oh, while he
September 1963 release there for Baby Washington. Baby Washington on the Sue record label Hey Lonely or Hey Lonely One. Check your copy on that 45. Pretty cool 45. Got a twin spin here by Baby Washington as the copyright police have just showed their heads to Johnny G. Of course, there's sirens moving up on me, so I'm going to speed away real quick. Let's move up 6 years now. 6 years, because after Sue Records, she recorded for Veep, and then I think she moved on to Cotillion Records. She had 3 on Cotillion And which one is this, Charlene? It doesn't say. This tune written and produced by Dave Crawford. This charted number 10 on WMBM in Miami, Florida. This is from February 69. It's a twin spin for Baby Washington, this time on Cotillion Records. It's called I Don't Know.
If you ask me where he is, I'd have to tell you I don't know. I ain't seen him in God knows when. Oh, I don't know. 7 days is much too long. I'm so confused and I'm all alone. If you ask me when he's coming home, I'd have to tell you I don't know. I ain't too much on thinking, 'cause right now I don't know. I've been soaking up my questions and drinking, and still I don't know. A woman ain't no good all alone, because a house without a man sure ain't a home. If you ask me when it's coming back home, I'd have to tell you I don't know. Oh baby, I need you. Yes I do. Baby, oh baby, I want you. Yes I do. If you see him, tell him something good, 'cause right now I don't know. I tell him for myself, if only I could, but I don't know. He won't understand that it's me. I'm his loving woman. But maybe one day I'll get the chance. But right now, I don't know. I don't know. I gotta get it back home, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know.
That's a twin spin for Baby Washington, one from September 63. Hey, Lonely One. We moved up to February 69. Baby Washington with I Don't Know. That one there on Cotillion. Now, after this release, she had releases on Chess and Master 5 in the 1970s. We continue here on a Wednesday evening here, the Soul Show here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. For this next singer had 4 releases on the RCA record. I thought it was more than 4, Charlene. I saw a lot more listed, unless they were same song on both sides, possibly. But this is his debut single on the RCA record label. And when I was looking through the records for, what I do is I have a bunch of them that I've already have cleaned through my spin clean machine. So I go looking for other ones that look interesting and I test play them. And when I saw this in the box, I said, well, this has produced by George Kerr. So I got to listen to it. So that's like one of the things that are going to get me to listen to the record and possibly play it. So that was the trigger on this record. It came out in August of '66. His name is Tony Mason. Tony Mason, this is his first release on RCA. This bubbled under at number 125 on Billboard, but a big number 2 record on WDAS in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Tony Mason, it's called, in parentheses, it says, We're Gonna Bring the Country to the City, Tony Mason.
We gonna bring the country to the city. We gonna bring the country to the city. We gonna monkey in country style. We gonna drive all the city for a while. We gonna bring the country to the city. Listen, city people who wanna call us country square. You better check yourself, man. Are you the one that ain't nowhere? We come from the country, and that's where soul started. We gonna show you city people how the country people party. We like the city's bright lights. We like the boardwalk too. But we like the party sometimes like country people. We gonna bring the country to the city. We gonna bring the country to the city. We gonna monkey in country style. We gonna drive all the city for a while. We gonna bring the country to the city. I can smell the barbecue roasting already. I see grandma leaving a rocking chair to monkey with granddaddy. Little brothers around the corner, still in a kiss from Sally Mae. My baby's gonna be thanking me for such a wonderful day. We gonna bring the country to the city. We gonna bring the country to the city. We gonna monkey in country style. We gonna drive all the city for a while. We gonna bring the country to the city. Out the jar, out the bar, Sally Mae, out the hay, out the beer, out the beer. Bring them all right on up to the city. Bring them all right on up to the city. Grandma, Grandpa, Sally Mae.
August 66 release, the first release for Tony Mason on the RCA record label. We're gonna bring the country to the city. Usually it's the opposite way around where Johnny G lives. As we continue here on Vinyltreasure, let's go back to Detroit, Michigan, and for the sound of Motown. Actually, this is on the Motown subsidiary Soul label for this group called the Fantastic Four. They had earlier releases on the Rick Tick label. This is their second of four on the Soul label. This bubbled under at number 111 on Billboard, but a big number 7 record out in Detroit, Michigan on WJLB. It features James Epps on lead. This is from March 1969, the Fantastic Four. I guess they were named after the comic strip. I don't know. Not comic book. Superheroes. I don't know. Fantastic Four on the Soul label. It's called I Feel Like I'm Falling in Love Again. The Fantastic Four. Those are the Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four from March 69. I Feel Like I'm Falling in Love Again. That's on the Soul record label. And Mark Speck asked for an instant request on the flip side. Let's see, though, if this is the same song on both sides. Oh, no, it is not, Mark. You are in luck. You're a lucky guy. Tonight is your lucky night, Mark. So let's do this instant request for... there you go. For Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room there. Flip over that A-side called I Feel Like I'm Falling in Love by the Fantastic Four from March 69. You get this flip side here going out to Mark. It's called Pinpoint It Down for Mark Speck, the Fantastic Four. That's by request from Mark Speck, Pinpointed Down. That is the flip side of I Feel Like I'm Falling in Love Again. Charlene, I think that's their first of three. You got to double check that. You got to be careful when you look at the 45 Cat. They don't have it in any specific order unless it may be soulful kind of music. Sometimes you have to go there, and they even sometimes miss it. So sometimes you can't get a really good discography, and sometimes they list the same song on both sides, so you got to be careful in the count. But I think that's their first of three, at least what I see on 45 Cat. But anyway, let's continue here on Vinyl Treasures, as this girl group is out of New York City. Now, I found this record in the wild, and it was very difficult to find any information on it. Although there was some, Charlene, on 45 Cat. This came out in June of '68. There was Richie Adams wrote and arranged this. Of course, Richie Adams was the lead singer of the Fireflies, had a hit in 1959 called You Were Mine. He had some really cool solo releases on Belltone and Imperial and Congress Records. Has a big one on the Congress label that I still need. But this is from June of '68, produced by Otis Pollard, the Vont Claires. It's 2 words, the Vont Claires, on the Double R label. It's called Don't You Tell Nobody, from June '68. Ooh.
I had to meet this groovy guy, but don't you go and tell nobody. My heart was dancing to a different beat, especially when he gave me the eye. So don't you go and tell nobody. He's the answer to my every dream, all wrapped into one. He doesn't know yet, but gonna make him love me, yeah. So don't tell nobody. No, 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 no. Don't tell nobody. Never, 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 never tell nobody. Don't tell nobody that I found my baby, baby. Never let me go for loving, baby. He's got my number, told him he should call. We could have a ball to last forever. But don't you go and tell nobody, 'cause I intend to keep him to myself. I don't need no help, we stand together. But don't you go and tell nobody. If I looked around a million years, I'd still never find another guy that I want to keep. I gotta make him love me, love me, love me, love me, yeah. So don't tell nobody. No, 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 no. Don't tell nobody. Never, 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 never tell nobody. Don't tell nobody that I found my baby, baby, baby. Never let me go for loving, baby, Don't tell nobody. 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 Don't tell nobody.
That group called the Vont Claires. The Vont Claires, June 1968 release. It's on the Double R record label out of New York City. Don't you tell nobody. But tell your friends about the Vinyltreasure Show. If you're new to the program, please subscribe to Johnny G's channel. Click the bell to get all notifications when Johnny G goes live. Let's continue now for this next singer. He's originally from Cleveland, Ohio. First recorded in the early 1960s as a member of the Valentinos, recording for Sam Cooke's SAR label. He would then sign with Leonard Chess's Checker label in the fall of 1965, and would lead his group also on Checker Records. His first solo single came out on Checker, then others on Rim, Keyman, and Atlantic. Then he would move over to Minute Records in the mid 1967 and had 9 releases on Minute. This is the B-side to his third, a tune he co-wrote. It's produced by Chips Moman. This one from February 1968. Let's give a listen to Bobby Womack. Bobby Womack on the Minute label. It's called What You Gonna Do, parentheses, When Your Love Is Gone, Bobby Womack. That's Bobby Womack there. That's actually the B-side. Let me go back here. That's the B-side to his third release on the, whoops. Johnny G got to cheat here a little bit. His third, that's the B-side to his third release on the Minute record label, as I'm looking at these promos here. Fly Me to the Moon, where is it? Third release, 1, 2, there you go. What You Gonna Do, parentheses, When Your Love Is Gone is the name of that one there from February 1968. But we have an instant request for listener Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room. So let's flip it over and give a listen to the intended A side of this 45. There you go. It is from February 68. Instant request for Mark Speck, Bobby Womack on Minute. It's called What Is This? For Mark.
What is this? Oh yeah. What is this? Somebody tell me. Yeah. What is this now? I like it. What is this? Look. What is this thing that's got a hold on me? What is this feeling that won't let me be? Even with my problems, I can sleep
There you go. That's an instant request from Mark Speck. That is Bobby Womack. Bobby Womack on the Minute record label. Song entitled What is this? What is this? Is Johnny G needs new glasses. That is for sure. I better do that. I do. The copyright stream is still up there. See, what scares me about this is if it's up constantly, usually it drops after a while, but I don't know if they're current with what I'm playing or they're not, but they're running it through their filter automatically. And you should see, I have so many people that are going back to my old archives, and they are giving me copyright of stuff that I played in 2017. It's been up there already, and then I get emails for every copyright issue. It is a pain. It goes, this is not a strike, but we're allowing you to show your video or have them view your video, and then they'll block it in certain areas. The other show a couple weeks ago, there was no way. I don't know what song that I played that they didn't even let me change it. They said I couldn't change it at all. I said, well, that's not fair. I says, what are you doing then? I mean, I'm doing the show live, okay, and then you block it, or then same thing when I'm doing it live now, and it's still on there. Here I am talking, so they aren't in real time with me. So they're not. So they're somewhere behind. Anyway, enough of my babbling here. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Let's go back to Philadelphia now. This song first came out on the Hawthorne label out of Philadelphia back in 1964, and then it would be picked up by it can't be 64. Then it would be picked up by Parkway Records, a tune written by Eddie Holman, James Solomon, John Stiles, Norman Harris. This is arranged by Luther Randolph. This group is called the Twilights. This is actually the B-side of the 45, which I like better. December 66, I'm featuring it on the Parkway label. First issued on Hawthorne. The Twilights on Parkway with For the First Time from December 66. There you go.
For the first time in love with you.
Okay, the B-sides here on the Vinyltreasure show. The group out of Philadelphia, they're called the Twilights. Their first release came out on Hawthorne Records, and then their second release, which that was actually the A-side called Shipwreck, came out on Hawthorne, but then was picked up by Parkway Records, and it should be, there you go. That's how it should work. But see, but it says it first came out on Hawthorne. So there you go. That's the confusing right up there, Charlene. I got you. Anyway, let's continue here on the Vinyltreasure show. This is, let's go to Groove Records out of New York City. This group is called The Channels. Now, there is one original member. I knew this. There's one original member of Earl Lewis's group in this group, and I think it was Lawrence Hampton. I think that's Hampton, Charlene, not Hamden. I think it's Lawrence Hampton, Eugene Alex Williams, and Tony Williams. They were added. This is a trio here. They were known as the Channels, but they are related. One of them was the original member from back in 1956. But this new Channels group did two on the Groove label, and this is their second. This is their second from February 65, written by Edna Lewis, produced by Joe Renee, and arranged by Bert Keys, all guys from the 50s there. The Channels on Groove Records. It's called You Can Count on Me. The Channels. February 65 for the Channels. The Channels on the Groove record label, subsidiary of RCA Records. You Can Count on Me. That's their second of two on the Groove label. Bought that from Joel Scherzer for like a couple bucks when he was selling out his collection, and he sent me his set sale. Well, it wasn't a set sale list; it was an auction list, and he already sent it out, so it was like kind of like a reused one, and he crossed out the ones that were sold, which weren't many. So I was bidding $2, $1.25, $1.78, $4.38, $10, and I won a whole bunch of records. I think I won about $800 or $900 worth of records, and of course at those prices. I think the most expensive record I won was $12. It might have been Dear Lord, maybe my first copy of Dear Lord, but everything else was cheap, like that one there. Or it wasn't cheap to me because I really didn't have a lot of money when I was you only can buy as much as disposable income that you have to to divulge into record buying. You can't do it if you got bills to pay. Some people are selling their records to pay their bills. At least they sold them to me. Anyway, Johnny G babbling on here. Let's continue here. Let's go back to Detroit now. For this group, they had 9 overall releases on Ed Wingate's Golden World label, and I bet you know their biggest hit, which I think was their first record, and it was called Just Like Romeo and Juliet. But this is their 7th release, their 7th of 9 on the Golden World label. It features Tony McKelly on lead. It's from May 1965, The Reflections on Golden World. It's called Wheelin' and Dealin'.
Surely you do, baby. Wheeling and dealing and wheeling and dealing for your love. Wheeling and dealing, got to shuffle the cards. I lose a diamond, yeah, girl, to capture your heart. Your lips so good, I'll kiss so kissable. Johnny, so kissable. I'm wheeling and dealing and wheeling and dealing for your love. Sending roses, but that's just part of my plan. Just like LBJ, I'm sure you heard of the man. Wheeling and dealing, girl, let me take you there, and you won't be missing if I can go show. Wheeling and dealing and wheeling and dealing for your love. Wheeling and dealing, something I need. Take my best hand, give it to me. Baby, I need your love, and I want you to give me some of something. 'Cause I'm wheeling and dealing and wheeling and dealing for your love. Wheeling and dealing, 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 wheeling and dealing.
May 1965 for The Reflections. Tony McKelly and The Reflections on the Golden World record label. Wheelin' and Dealin' is the name of the tune. Johnny G doesn't like to wheel and deal when it comes to records. Now, I'm not going to say that I was in debt before. And you don't want to know why, and you don't want to know how, but I was in debt, and I hate having debt hanging over my shoulder, is it over your shoulder or over your head? But I hate it. So if I made a big record purchase, like Spence would show up here from Allentown, PA, and he'd say, Johnny, I got you some records from Allentown, but you got to tell me if you want them now. And I said, do I got to pay you now? He goes, well, no, you don't have to pay me now, but you have to give me some. And I was like, okay, so what do you have? Well, I have Golden Teardrops by the Flamingos on red vinyl. I have The Moon Glows on Chance on red vinyl. I said, so I need those, and I need that one. So what's the total? Comes out to $9,487. And I'm like, can I pay you half? I'll give you half. So I give him a check for half the money. And I said, you got to give me time till next week. And then if I can put it on my credit card, that at least gives me 30 days. But I don't like to you don't keep debt on your credit card. That is an absolute no-no. You don't do that. And so, I like that 30-day float. I think that's what it is, 30-day float, because I get to keep the money a little longer. I get to make another $1.22 in interest income. That's how I do it. But I hate having debt dangling over my head. I just hate it. Let's continue here on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Even though this next song has a Phil Spector-ish sound to it, he is not producing this record, but maybe a protege of his is. Maybe that's Sonny Bono, who I think might be doing this. But this song, arranged by Gene Page and produced and written by Sonny Bono and performed by the gal that would eventually be his wife. I don't think they were married at this time, November of 64. Well, maybe they were supposedly married in 1964, but Sonny would say, I think, not legally until I think their daughter Chastity was born. I don't know. Well, I don't know if I could even say that now. That might not even be politically right to say. It's not Chastity. Somebody can give me the name now. I forget what his name is now. But no, Chaz. That's it. I do have it here. But I like this record, and for some reason I do, and I bought it from Mike Demersion. He had $15 on it. I think it was probably worth more. I wish I had it on a vinyl promo, though. Maybe Dave the Rave has it on a vinyl promo, but I have it on this crappy styrene. And this got played a lot on KRLA and KACY out in California. But it's from November 64. Her name is Sherilyn, but it's really Cher. This is on the Imperial record label. The song is called Dream Baby.
I found a boy for me. He is my dream baby. He doesn't know that I almost die when he walks by and
That is Sherilyn, a.k.a. Cher. Yes, it is, with kind of like a Phil Spector wall of sound there, but Gene Page arranged that, and Sonny Bono wrote the tune. And you actually hear him in there. He makes a couple of words in there. He does, but that's a Dream Baby, November 1964. I wish I had it on the white promo, the vinyl promo. Maybe the same song on both sides too. I don't know. Anyway, Johnny G here on a Wednesday evening. Let's continue here now for Northern Soul collectors. The Shrine label is like the Holy Grail. Now, I think I only have two, maybe three, I think only two releases on the Shrine record label, and one of them is that Leroy Taylor and the Somethings, one of the first two on the label, and this one with a really erect label when Greg sold me this, and I think he charged me I think this group has two records on Shrine, and this is their first, I think. Their other one is like a 4-figure record. But this had some label damage, and the vinyl's not bad. It's nice. So Greg said, do you need this? And I says, I don't have any Shrine records. I'll take it. It was $300. I took the record. But there were only 20 releases on Eddie Singleton's label, Shrine Records, which operated out of Washington, D.C., and this group had two on the label. The members consisted of A.B. Jones, Joe Clyburn, Albert Nix, Billy Blanchard, and Julius Hayes. Collectively, they were known as the Cautions. And this is the A-side to their first release. It came out in June 65. The Cautions on Shrine. It's called Watch Your Step.
Watch your step, girl. I'm gonna make you mine. You can bet all your life you're gonna like it fine. Yeah, girl, I think it's time. I want to get hold on you. Night after night, I sit alone. Watch your step. Look out, mama. I'm gonna make you mine. Yeah, girl. You can bet all your life you're gonna like it fine. Yeah, you won't find it hard to take. Oh no, can't just try off for baby. Think how wonderful, baby.
Yeah, that's one of my two Shrine 45s. I mean, there's some really good ones. There's a couple that are kind of very transitional that can feature on my 50s show on Saturday night. But that's a cool soul record, that is. I mean, Greg sold me that record. The late Greg Zurich sold me that 45. The Cautions from June 65. It's on the Shrine label. Watch Your Step is the name of that tune. Now, in 1968, the Shrine warehouse burnt down as a result of riots that were taking place in D.C. And actually, that copy looks like it survived that fire is what it is. But it's not warped or anything. It's just they're just styrene presses, which are not good. But anyway, that plays okay. But there is a what's his name? Who sang with the Wanderer? There's a Ray Pollard on there. That's pretty nice, but that's a pricey one too. They're all pricey. All the records on Shrine are pricey records. Anyway, let's go to the HBR record label out of Hollywood, California. You know what that HBR stands for? Hanna-Barbera Records. You know Hanna-Barbera, they had the Saturday morning cartoon shows. I used to watch Space Ghost, which I thought was pretty cool, but I used to like Johnny Quest. But I don't think, isn't Johnny Quest Hanna-Barbera? I think you guys in the chat room may know that. Josie and the Pussycats, I think, was Hanna-Barbera. The Banana Splits, I think, were, and a couple others. But they also had a record label, although this gal is from Dayton, Ohio. Let me see, what does this say? This song, is this the writer, Kenny Smith? Is Kenny Smith the writer, Charlene, on this? Kenny Smith that recorded for Fraternity Records, writer and arranger. That's what it says here. But this is from January '66. Her name is Jerry Diamond, Gerri, Jerry Diamond. This is on HBR from January '66. It's called Mama, You Forgot, Jerry Diamond.
Mama, you taught me how to cook and sew, and you taught me, Mama, you taught me everything a girl should know. But one thing that you forgot, oh yes, that you forgot, and that's how not to fall in love. Not to fall in love. You know that the boy down the street, oh, every time we meet, you know he looks so fine, that my heart just skips a beat. I can't stand it any longer. I'm getting weak, he's getting strong. Tell me, Mama, what shall I do? What shall I do? What shall I do? Mama, please tell me what to do to find a love that's true, one that'll last, oh, through thick and thin, oh yeah. But if he is a playboy and uses my heart for a toy, I don't wanna be a loser, I wanna win. My heart says, go on and take a chance. But my head says, could be the start of a bad romance. I can't stand it any longer. I'm getting weak, he's getting strong. Tell me, Mama, what shall I do? What shall I do? What shall I do? What shall I do? Mama, it's alright. Mama, it's alright. It's alright. What shall I do? Please tell me, what shall I do? It's alright.
Her name is Jerry Diamond. Jerry Diamond, January '66 release. Mama, You Forgot is the name of the tune. It's on the HBR record label. Remember, if you have any requests or you're just finding out about the show, Johnny G loves to interact with the listeners. Send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. That is for all requests for any of the shows. The Soul Show, which is Wednesday nights from 9 to midnight Eastern Time. Also Saturday night from 9 to midnight. That's the 1950s and early 60s show. And then I do a day show at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday. I've been counting down the WNJR November 64 oldie show, Danny Styles show. So I'm going to finish that this Monday, and then I'm going to play some songs related to Labor Day. I kept on calling Memorial Day. It was Labor Day. Johnny G, still in a COVID fog. Yes, I am. Let's continue here. We are in Vinyltreasure Overtime. We got to get this request in for Adrian Viterbo, listening in Mexico. This group from Dallas, Texas. I think they were like 15 members, Charlene. There's another good write-up on this. This is their second of 3 on the Smash label, and there is the lead singer on this. There is, Charlene. It's not here. But this song made it up to number 5 on WVOL in Nashville, Tennessee. This is from May 67. For Adrian, The Festivals on Smash. It's called You've Got the Makings of a Lover, for Adrian.
A man walk a mile just to see you, or just to hold your hand. I love you when I don't understand. You've got the makings of a lover, and when you walk, all the fellas start to talk. They say you're fine, and that you're so sublime. I love you and I wish you were mine. You took my heart away the very first day that I saw you. I tried to make a play. You turned and walked away, but I adore you. You've got the makings of a and when you walk, all the fellas start to talk. They say you're fine, and that you're so sublime. I love you and I wish you were mine. I wish you were mine. I wish you were mine. I wish you were mine.
That's by request for Adrian Viterbo in our YouTube chat room, The Sound of the Festivals. There, of course, it's on Styrene 45. I hate Styrene Records. That's their second of 3 on the Smash record label. We're going to do an instant request for Mark Speck in our YouTube chat room here. Flip the 45 over. Looks like this title's making Johnny G laugh because I think it's describing me. From going out by request for Mark Speck from May 1967, The Festivals on Smash. It's called High, Wide, and Handsome. The Festivals for Mark Speck.
So high, so high, so high. My love is high and wide for you. It's so high and wide for you. High, wide, and handsome, 10 feet tall. 10 feet tall. That's my love for you. My love for you. Cream of the crowd, don't ever stop. My love is high and wide for you. It's so high and wide for you, and it's so high, high, high. It's so high, love is high and wide for you. It's so high and wide for you. Do 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 do. So high, do 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 do. So high, do 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 do. So high, my love is high and wide for you.
so high and wide for you. Big as a mountain, tall as a tree. Tall as a tree. That's my love for you. My love for you. Top of the morning, I'm giving you warning. Don't you ever make me blue. My love is high and wide for you, and it's so high, high, high. It's so high. My love is high and wide for you. It's so high and wide for you. Do 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 do. So high. Do 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 do. So high. Do 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 do. So high. My love is high and wide for you. It's so high and wide for you.
That's an instant request here from Mark Speck. There you go. Those are the festivals. The festival's the flip side of You Got the Making of a Lover. You Got the Makings of a Lover, May 1967. The festival's on Smash. We flip it over. You got High, Wide, and Handsome. Going out to Mark Speck. We are in Vinyltreasure Overtime. We'll be going to the bottom of the hour. You know, on my Saturday night show with all the requests I get, that show is an all-request show. And I play those records by year. Now, the Monday night is kind of an ad hoc show. And Dennis Fluharty, he wants Johnny G to play some rockabilly records, but I'm doing to do some different things. But the countdowns are easier right now because I get the playlist already for me, so that's what's making it a little bit easy. But let's continue here, a little bit more of Vinyltreasure Overtime. This next singer was the lead singer of the Temptations between 1964 and 68, but he recorded earlier. He had solo releases earlier on, Checkmate Records, and Dave the Rave. What was that record he did under that different name? Dave Bush, I think it was, on that black label. I forget the label. It was a black label, but he had some solo releases on Anna and on Checkmate, and then he would end up joining the Temptations. Was their lead singer between 1964 and 68, but he left the group for a solo career, but maybe he was kicked out too because he had maybe some ego issues. But he was born Davis Eli Ruffin on January 18th, 1941. Now, his biggest solo hit was a song called My Whole World Ended that came out in 1969 on the Motown record label. Then he kind of really made a big comeback in 75. I remember seeing him sing on American Bandstand. It was called Walk Away from Love. That's a 45 I bought back in 1975 when I was in high school. And I saw him do that on American Bandstand. Then in 85, he recorded for Warner Brothers with Hall & Oates. I think it was A Night at the Apollo, I think. But anyway, it was unfortunate, though, that he died on June 1st of 91 from an overdose of drugs. He was only 50 years old. But here is his fifth of 17 releases on the Motown record label. This charted in 1971, but it has sort of a 60s flavor. Maybe he recorded it in the late 60s, but it was officially released in August 71. This was a number 35 record on WKXI in Jackson, Mississippi. Let's give a listen to David Ruffin on Motown Records. It's called You Can Come Right Back to Me. David Ruffin.
Had to be the reason you took the ride. see you now, baby. You were headed for the door. Yes, headed for the door. Saying, sorry, 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 David. I just don't love you anymore. But oh, baby, don't you know I'm no good without you? My whole world revolves about you. Please come back, baby. Stop the rain. Let me live again, please. Ease my pain. Baby, you can come right on back to me. Do it in a hurry. Baby, you can come right on back to me, baby. It is bad, rain, anyway, I don't care. Come right on back to me, baby. Oh,
That's Mr. David Ruffin. David Ruffin from August 71. Touch of the 70s here on the All 60s edition. That's on the Motown record label. You Can Come Right Back to Me. That had like a 60s sound to it, I have to say. Johnny G here in overtime here. We're going to go to the bottom of the hour, and then that's going to be it for the night here. Let's continue now for this. The lead singer of this next group and her sister moved to New York from Augusta, Georgia, and with one more gal formed a trio in the fall of 1961. They recorded as Barbara J. and the Silver Slippers on the Les Kay record label. Then in 1963, they signed with Brunswick Records and changed their name to the Sweethearts. Now, the group consisted of lead singer Barbara Sullivan and her sister Shirley and Kim Lewis. This is the B-side of their third of four on the Brunswick label from November 63. Let's give a listen to the Sweethearts. The Sweethearts on Brunswick. It's called Everybody I Know. The Sweethearts.
Everybody I know thinks that you're wonderful. Yeah, yeah. Everybody I know thinks that you're true.
November 63 there for the Sweethearts. That's Barbara Sullivan. She also recorded as Barbara J. and the Silver Slippers on a cool doo-wop record she does on the Les K label. But this is on Brunswick Records, Everybody I Know. They would have one more name change in 1967, recorded for the Toot label as the Lovables. A couple of records on that label by them, pretty nice too. Johnny G here in Vinyltreasure Overtime. Let's go to Philadelphia for this next singer. He had two earlier releases, I think on Arnold Records in 61 and Lash in 62, but then he had one more release. This is his third release from September. I don't know if it's 69, Charlene. I did see that date. I think it's earlier than 69, but this is on the Apollo label, not the 1950s label that Bess Berman was in charge of. This is a label out of Philadelphia. This song produced by Sam Reed. Maybe it's 69. I don't know. This doesn't sound like a 69 song. It sounds earlier, but I think I paid $100 for this record from Barry Saltz a long time ago. Lee Johnson on the Apollo label. It's called Can't Wait Till Tonight. Lee Johnson.
I'm feeling so glad, for I'll be with the love of my life tonight, tonight. It won't be long now, so I will prepare for my day. Everything will be so fun, we'll just have a happy time. Can't wait till tonight. It's looking so bright. Everything gonna be so right tonight, tonight. It won't be long now, so I will prepare for my day. Everything will be so fun. We'll just have a happy time.
There you go. That's Lee Johnson, September. Maybe that's 69. I guess it could be 69. Possibly early 69. Can't Wait Till Tonight is the name of the tune. That's on the Apollo record label. Two more 45s to go here before we sign off on the Vinyltreasure show for this evening. This group out of Los Angeles, California, they first recorded as the Vows on the Marquee record label, and they would later change their name to the Vowels. And they did two on Frank Wedlaw and Andy Belvin's Lee Bam record label, which was also out of Los Angeles, California. The lead singer on this is Morris Chestnut. This is from September 1960. Well, it was a 63. Charlene, I wonder if maybe a 63. I don't know. I thought it might have been a little later, but Ferdy has them or should have had them. But these are the Vowels on La Bam Records. The song is called "It's All Right."
You say you don't love me, and it's alright. You say you don't want me, darling, and it's alright. I'll still keep loving you. I'll still keep loving you till the day I die. Loving you till the day I die. You say what goes up, it must come down. You say that you're tired, so tired of me hanging round. But I know that someday, you're gonna come back to me. Oh, you just got to return, baby. Oh, yeah. You play the game, and you made the rules. You played it around. Oh, you gave me the blues. As sure as I'm telling you, baby, as sure as I'm telling you, girl, I know that someday you'll come back to me. Oh, it's alright, baby, it's alright. You say you don't want me, darling, and it's alright. I'll still keep loving you. I'll still keep loving you, and you'll come back to me. Oh, yes you will, baby. There's one more thing I wanna tell you, honey. It's been living within my soul. You know I'm going home. I don't have the love I need. Only you can give to me. Oh, I just got to have you, baby. Oh, I need you, darling.
That's September 1963 there for a group called the Vowels. That's on the Lee Bam record label, song entitled "It's All Right." Well, that's going to do it for Johnny G and the Vinyl Treasure Show. I want to thank you for joining Johnny G, listening to these cool 45s out of my collection. If you want to get in touch with Johnny G, send me an email at vinyltreasures@aol.com. That's for requests. That's for correspondence, that's for questions, that's for anything that you want to ask the DJ. And I know we picked up some new listeners tonight. Hope you enjoyed the program. As this is really the only time I get to listen to my records, especially now. It's like, everything is all crazy now for me here. I'm gonna go to lunch with Barbara for my birthday. She's taking me out on Friday. I'm meeting one of my high school buddies. He's up from Florida. I'm meeting him for lunch tomorrow. Then I gotta check out the requests for Saturday night. Again, if you have requests, you can send them to me at vinyltreasures@aol.com. If you missed any of the program, it'll be up momentarily. You can always go back and check it. Even while you're listening, you can backtrack. You can call it up and go back and look at it. People have done that when they miss their requests. But if you have missed any of the program, you can always go back and watch it on the archive, because the shows are archived on YouTube. You just have to click. There's like 560 videos on there. You just have to click the live tab, and it'll show you the most current shows. They're up there first. And then if for some reason, because the copyright police were chasing me all night long, they'll black out the show. Usually it's in Russia, but they have picked other countries, and sometimes a couple of weeks ago they shut it down all over the place. Then you have to go to vinyltreasures.net, and you can at least stream the show there. You can download it or stream it. Those are really the only two ways to do it. Or you can listen live on Oldies and More Radio, because I broadcast simultaneously on Oldies and More Radio on Wednesday nights and late on Saturday nights after midnight. But I'll be back here next Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with more Soul 45s out of my collection. And then you can join me Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time if you're into doo-wops and rhythm and blues group harmony. That's a big all-request show. That's my big show for the week. It's on Saturday night Eastern Time, 9 p.m. to midnight. Usually go an hour OT. So I end up getting out of there by, more like 1 a.m. But anyway, and also Monday there's an afternoon show. I do it for the European folks that want to tune in, and also feature other types of music out of my collection. That's what I want to do, other genres. So that's the game plan here. I'm hopefully going to be having some guest collectors come up here also. Some of them during the day show. That would be the Monday show. So that's why I want to keep that slot open. So that I will be doing here. I got to just clean it up a little bit more here. Lots of clutter. When you have too many 45s, you don't have enough space to file them. I need like a lot more room, and I need a lot more elves to help me do it. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Charlene, again for all your help. Couldn't do the show without Charlene. She's been having some computer problems that is really upsetting her. But Charlene, these things happen. Don't get too upset with that. But we'll work through it. But thank you all for tuning in tonight. We're going to close the show tonight. Earlier in the show, I played Marvin Gaye and Kim Weston. Well, he returns here. He sang with Mary Wells, he sang with Diana Ross, he sang with Kim Weston, and he sang with Tammy Terrell. Had a lot of great records with Tammy Terrell. Unfortunate, she passed away with that brain tumor, the cancerous brain tumor. A horrible, horrible fate for Tammy Terrell. But they left us with both of them with great music. And this is my aunt's copy of this 45. My Aunt Mary, she was the one that got me into this record collecting, and her musical tastes shaped my musical taste. But this was her record. This one from September 1968. It's our closer, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. This tune, written by Nick Ashford and Valerie Simpson. This is their 5th release for the Tamla label. This is number 25 on Cashbox, 24 on Billboard, 11 on the R&B chart, a big number 3 record on WVON in Chicago, Illinois. This is Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell with Keep On Lovin' Me Honey. I like this record by them. That's going to do it, folks. Johnny G's gotta go. See you here next time on the Vinyl Treasure Show. Just want to say, everybody, so long.
Keep on loving me, honey. Keep on loving me true.
Baby, I'm gonna love you no matter what you do.
For so long I depended on nothing but you. So don't you take your love,
Don't take it away from me, 'cause life would stop right where I stand.
I'd just be the frame of a man.
Don't you take your love, don't take it away from me, 'cause if you leave, you might as well take the air I breathe.
Keep on loving me, honey. Don't you go nowhere.
Don't you know I'm